welcome back to another episode of Kaine's Corner. Today we've got a lovely little gate camp here in Smeb, so I just thought I'd take the time to do a little tips and tricks video of what I do and how I get in and out of gate camps. This is a particularly good one. The ship I'm in today is a nereus high mobility. This is my trainer go-to for mucking around with gate camps and stuff like we're going to do today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I've got, and you'll see it's very much bare essentials. You can see by my rigs there, my modules, and the rigs I've got on here is literally some cheap cargoes. They're not even good ones, just so I can pick up a bit of PI every now and then. The main things needed here to get you in and out of dodge is the inertia, mega warp drive, and the cloak, covert cloak. I've also got the newts as well, so if you do get locked, we just zap the guy that's locking us and away we go. So what we're looking to do is have preset a warp points. Do this in a smaller ship. Set them off of gates, ideally from about 150 to 200 or more. If you go 200, it's a bit better, because at least that way, if there is a bubble on the gate and you come in through the gate and there's a bubble there, you can get out of the bubble and still warp off, because you've got that little bit of extra space. There we go. To jump to a lower warp point I've got set up on the sacked gate, and we're going to go have a look at these boys and see what they're up to. So best thing to do when coming in, have a look where you're going, so as we're coming in we can see what we're dealing with, and try and pan up as you go by. So as you can see, these boys are pretty well prepared. They've been here for quite a while. I've been watching people die left, right and centre. So the first thing we're going to do when we get here is have a look, see what's about. As you can see, they've got boxes out to decloak people. They've got all the heavies in there, got carrier. I think they've a couple of battleships, all sorts of bits and pieces. So looking at, what's the closest enemy? 179 kilometres. Okay, there's an awful lot of them. There's a carrier and a dreadnought on the side there. I apologise for no game sound. I was recording in game, and then mic was off. So anyway, so the reason why we check distances is looking at the gate, 167. Now, if we look closely, it looks like they're in between us and the gate, but we know our closest enemy to us is 176 kilometres. So knowing that, we can push forward and actually come in from this point, and basically scoot past. So in here, I've got my distance at 160 odd. I'd warp in, but for some reason it wouldn't let me warp in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bimble on over under the power of propulsion and basically start sneaking my way through. What I'll do is at the end of this clip, I'll basically cut it and then pause the video, come back to it when when I'm a little bit closer. So I'll catch you then. Okay, so we're not quite there yet, but we're 135k out, and I thought I'd start recording again, because there's a couple of things we can do here. What I tend to do is we're coming in, keeping an eye on stuff. Here's our matey K109 being a bit brave. He's been toying with them as well for about as long as I have, but I think he might bite the bullet on this one, as I think he's warped in a little bit too far. Yep, it looks like he's going to cop it. There we go. So that's what can happen if you're not too careful. Anyway, what I like to do is I like to see what's going on. So we're keeping an eye on what ships are moving. Tornado seems to be moving around the perimeter quite a lot. But let's get a closer look. What people don't realise is if you pan out and then look backwards, you can now see what's going on in the bubble. So very, very handy technique, which I don't think a lot of people really use, because I don't think people really use the camera that well in this game. But I can now see where these guys are in the bubble. Yeah, and it gives me a good idea underneath. You know, I know the distances of everybody, I know the distance to the gate. I also now know where the positions are properly. If you're coming from this view, it's not very good. But if you spin it back up, look at all the information we can gather. Absolutely brilliant. And you can just try and get better angles. You can see where we're coming in here is completely clear. There's no crates, there's nobody around, nothing. Yeah, a very good handy tip. So yeah, so when you're coming in, get some knowledge just by literally looking backwards. What I'll do is I'll keep plodding on. I'll once I get closer to the bubble, or if I think of something else to bore you guys with, I'll start her up again. But I'm going to cut the video now, and I'll re-edit the next bit in a moment. See you in a second. So, whilst this NATO's been whizzing around the outskirts along with the Arbiter underneath there, I realise I forgot to mention that if you look in the bubble, you can actually see the distance to the gate. That is because earlier on we actually selected the gate to see how far away it was, and that obviously targets the gate. Then if you change your panel on the right hand side there, you can then see where the ships are, but it then keeps your last selected item out of your right hand panel targeted, so you get to see the distance of that, so you get like the best of both worlds. Other things you need to do, always check within your panels, like swap between the two like this. So on my trucking one I can see where all the cargo and wrecks and bits and pieces are, and then just see where all the ships are. And just keep an eye on your distance from everything. If anything's between that 49 and you, it'll be quite apparent, because they'll be a lot closer to you than anything else. So just keep an eye on that. Yep, and I'll catch you in a bit. Right, final leg of the hurdle. As we can see, we're 20 kilometres from the RB. Just keeping an eye on him. He is moving away. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the panel, because we can see the ships in the top there. We're going to change our panel so I can see all the cargo containers, what's close to us that we don't know about. Keeping an eye. As you can see, the gate is 16 kilometres from us now. The RB is getting further away from us. The best thing to do right now, don't panic. We've got all the information at hand. I can see how far away the cargoes are, the ships are, how close we are to the gate. What I am doing here is keeping an eye on my cloak. If I get decloaked, hit the mega warp drive, hit the inertia, get on in there. Top tip, from the edge of the bubble, you will always make the gate. It doesn't matter if they lock you up, whatever they do, you will make that gate every time. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to keep an eye on everybody anyhow, just to make sure that, you know, it's all good. We don't really want them to know which direction we're coming from, just so later on they might, you know, might set up some more boxes and things in our general direction. So we want to get in as close as possible. We're going to probably go for about 3 kilometers, decloak, and in we go. So nice and easy, just relax, don't ever worry about them. It's a lot easier doing this than most people think. Anyway, what I'm going to do now, I'll whiz off to the base. I'm going to spin around, come back, and then show you what to do going through and finding a bubble. Okay, so we're back up on the gate. What we're going to do here is jump through. We're going to use a local panel on the left to give us an indication if there's going to be anybody in there that might be setting up a gate camp. If there's reds, most likely. Greys, most likely. So that'll keep us, you know, keep us on our toes, whether it'll be on this gate or one up ahead. Remember when I said you'll always make the gate? This is the perfect time and situation where this tends to ring true. You'll jump through, get your panel on the right all set up, so you can basically have just the gates like this. Right, when we jump through, if we're in a bad situation and it's not good for us to try and get out of the bubble, closest gate possible, just to tap that, tap jump, tap inertia, tap the mega warp drive, cloak if you've got it, and you'll get out of that system pronto. We'll jump through. What we're looking for here is when we come through is we want a nice big space behind us. So what we're going to do is we come through, we have the vision panned out, we're going to spin the camera so we're looking completely away from us, back out the bubble. We're then going to double tap into the space behind us, inertia, mega warp drive and cloak if you've got it. This will get us out the, if you do it right, if it'll get us out the bubble so quickly they won't even respond. So here we go. So spinning it round, nothing behind us, zoom it in, double tap, inertia, mega warp drive, cloak, gone. Zoom back out, nobody's even noticed we're here. Look how fast we get out of this bubble. Alright, it's so quick, so quick. Even if you don't have a cloak, you could do this if you don't have a cloak. Now bearing in mind, with cloak, way easier. This is for haulers, especially ones that are T10s. But if you haven't got a cloak, like you can get out of there pretty quick to warp. Bearing in mind you have got 60 seconds to decide, but I've found personally the faster you can judge to get out of there or get to the gate, the better. The less time that they're reacting. They are not expecting you to move so quickly. They're used to the 10 count. So for those of you that don't know this, when you jump into a system, count to 10. Normally at the end of the 10, they'll appear. 10 seconds, that is. Anyway, I hope you all liked my my little video. I'm really sorry to keep you for like 12 minutes. But I just kind of wanted to put together something so people kind of know what it is and how to do it. And please leave feedback. Hopefully this has helped you out and there's been good information. Really appreciate if you did leave feedback on anything, criticise me, whatever, just to help me make these videos better. Saying that, all the best, fly safe, live recklessly. See you later.